Good morning, this is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. I hope the volume's okay because I haven't got my earpiece in, so hopefully you'll be able to hear exactly what's going on. So let's just go through a couple of points. Before I start, I've got a very senior colleague who I speak to on a daily basis, and we message each other, and he mentioned something very important. The volatility on the market is extreme. So those people who are day traders and those people who are swing traders, you should look to take the profits very quickly, because he stated very correctly, and I love the way he stated this, that you could be in profit and then 15 minutes later you could be suffering a significant loss. So just be aware, due to massive volatility in financial markets, it's probably a good idea that if you're in profit, take profits quickly. There's no trend at the moment on the short term. The trend is down on a longer term, but on the day to day or week to week, the trend is extremely unreadable, and there's a lot of volatility out there. So just be aware, due to the volatility, take profits quickly. Okay, let's have a quick recap on where we're at with driving markets. Here we go. So yesterday, one of the most significant effects of the sanctions was a drop of, sorry, just had to honk someone, was the drop of 30% on the Russian ruble. The Russian ruble is the national currency of Russia, and it's its all-time low against the dollar. So just be absolutely clear there that 1 ruble, I think, is equivalent to 1 cent at the moment, if I'm correct. I could be wrong there, but the FX traders could correct me on that. So it's an all-time low. In addition to that, Russia increased its interest rates to combat inflation and combat the drop in the ruble by 20%. But who is going to invest in Russia at 20%? You can't get the money there, and if you get the money there, you can't get it out because they've been banned by the SWIFT system, the SWIFT international payment system. As I said yesterday, they'll probably bypass that and go to the CIPS, which is the cross-border interbank payment system used by China. So just be aware of that one. In addition to that, you've also got a big spike in defense stocks yesterday. So you've got stocks like Lockheed Martin, you've got Trotman Grumman went up, you've also got cyber defensive stocks went up significantly, because what Russia plans to do, or may plan to do, is that, remember, Russia is the biggest state sponsor of private hacking. So most of the hacking around the world on a private individual hacking basis comes from Russia. So what they'll probably do is they'll probably attack on both fronts, the West, which will be a cyber attack to try and destroy the infrastructure of the digital and internet community in the West. In addition to that, they're probably also going to look to get the private sector to cyber attack. So that attacking of the internet and cyber will increase dramatically over the next few months. Be aware of that. If you haven't got any defensive mechanism on your own internet or private internet, then it's worthwhile contacting a IT provider and making sure that they do provide that for you. So you've got defensive stocks rose up, you've got cyber stocks rose up, you've got banks that completely were thrashed yesterday. The banks in the US and across Europe were hammered, and the reason being is because the sanctions due to the West have put on Russia, that would reduce the flow of money and the flow of business around the world and have an impact on the banks. So the banks were thrashed. The 10-year Treasury, which is the benchmark of where interest rates are likely to go and the demand for bonds, the price dropped significantly, or the yield dropped significantly on price rose, the yield dropped significantly on the 10-year Treasury to around about 1.82%. That does not mean interest rates are not going to go up. It just means there is a flight to safety, which is the bonds to gold, the flight to safety, the yen and the dollar. So currencies against the dollar were hammered also, and the dollar gained in strength, again due to uncertainty and due to volatility. Yesterday I heard on the net that Belarus might also join in the conflict with Ukraine. So what we're looking at is a potential expanding, God forbid, of the conflict, and hopefully it will come to an end very quickly, because financial markets are not interested in the loss of life. But me personally, I am interested in the loss of life and the terrible strain, stress and damage and hurt that's causing to the Ukrainians and to the Russian people and to people around. So there's a lot of charity going on, which is a good thing, but we also have to remember, besides financial markets, there are human beings here that are being affected on a daily basis. Okay, we can see it across the news and across the net, so we have to always keep that in mind. It's not just about financial markets. Furthermore, you've got this week reporting non-farm payrolls. You've got a lot of economic numbers out. However, those economic numbers will be dwarfed by the geopolitical impact of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. But keep an eye on them. We've got Jerome Powell later this week reporting to the Congress. You've got non-farm payrolls. You've got Zoom reporting today. That'll be an interesting one to see where's Zoom going as regards their productivity and their profits, considering that the pandemic is more or less over, and what impact has it had on Zoom as a particular product, and see if it's been affected by the opening of the borders and the airlines and the countries, etc., etc. That's more or less all I have to say to you today. What I would suggest is that if you're trading, you're looking for a platform, you can contact me. I'll be more than happy to help you. You can contact me on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp. You can subscribe. You can like. The likes on my videos are running at 7 or 8 likes, which is terrible. That means only 7 or 8 people are liking the videos. Shocking. I expect a lot more from the viewers. I'm doing my part. You do your part. This is Mayor Volensky with Driving Markets. Have a good day.